be coming through fine. Just replying to an email. Someone's just literally, just before I went live, emailed me to say, hey, I found you via the Elemental group on Facebook. What do you think about my website? And they've sent me a link and lots of stuff. And I'm just replying back to them and saying, providing dedicated advice about websites is part of our one-to-one consultancy service. And it's not free. So I just want to say, but I will say that your website homepage needs more work on the headlines and why people should stick around. So I do get this quite a lot where people, hey, by the way, Pickstar, how you doing? Maddie, B Informatica, Mia, Bergschwerk, how are you all doing? So I do get emails like this quite a lot where the people go, oh, what do you think about my entire website? And I have to go, I'll give them a one-liner. So just like this person here, I'm saying their homepage is really light. You know, like, in fact, I'll show you on screen, okay? I'll show you on screen. All right, so here's this person's website. They've just literally emailed me moments ago. I mean it, literally moments ago, they've just emailed me. And I just think, I mean, luxury travel reimagined. I'm not entirely sure. Luxury, I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. You then got a bit of text, massive amounts. I mean, what is this? So you repeat the words, but so you go luxury travel reimagined. Then you say luxury reimagined. So now you've taken out the word travel. You go, big space, services. What is this? Services. How is this services? Where's the service? I don't see the service. Anyway, so without me going too on town with all of this and putting across my view, I just felt a bit like, what's the point of that? Anyway, hope you're all okay. Hey Dipanshu, how you doing? Hey Mohammed, can you hear me? I can't hear you, no. What do you mean, can I hear you? There's no way I can hear you. Or do you mean help you? What do you need help with? By the way, hey Charlie, hey Chillstar as well. Have you seen the video I put out about the results on the website client prices? It was quite interesting, I thought, when you get the range. I have reopened the survey, by the way, so that if anyone who never completed the survey wants to go and add their stuff in, please go for it, okay? And I will revisit again in about 2 months' time. Maybe in May, end of May, I might revisit it. So I'm giving everyone an opportunity. If you never completed that survey, go and click it, okay? But please do jump in and have a look at the survey results. I think what was the most interesting aspect, and you got to go watch the video to understand it better, is how when you take the fact that you might have some countries where they charge like not a very high price, when you compare that country's capita rate in terms of earnings, average earnings, etc., you know, and it is kind of averaged out to what they call the normal person or the middle income person, okay? Some of these countries that don't charge a lot are actually making pretty good income on the back of website design based on their capita rate. Whereas other countries, and I'm going to use the United Kingdom and United States as an example here, when you look at what they're charging, people in India might go, wow, they're charging a lot. But when you look at the capita rate for United Kingdom and United States, actually it flips the other way. But that's me putting in my analytical benchmarking standardization hat on. How are you all doing? Did you all have a really good weekend? Did you all have a good weekend? I had a reasonable reasonable weekend. Got some stuff done, planned stuff for later on videos to record this week. I've got what I think is an inventive video on how to do something a little bit different with WooCommerce. And you'll see more of that in about 12 hours time. But the big one for me was the video in terms of the survey results. So I took the results. I created a Google Data Studio interactive report to make it interactive for you as well. And I was quite proud of how that looked and worked. And I thought it was quite simple. Nice weekend from Pixstar. Excellent. Yeah, so the survey results, we did that, planned some new videos, and of course the super course. The super course is now basically complete, right? So if I just show you here, boop, the super course, all of the content for the super course, loads of stuff going on there, is complete. All I've got to do now is stitch it together on the website where it'll be presented. Hey, Rajat, by the way, and that's the one that's going to take me actually more time than I really thought it would. I thought it would take 3 days, 2 or 3 days. I think it's going to take me about a week and a half. Because not only am I going to kind of give you like information and guides, I then have to tell you a story in between as well. So I'm going to take you on the journey of an imaginary web designer. By the way, I would love it if you could give me a name for an imaginary web designer. Don't come out with names like Uranus or anything, or Neptune. Can you give me an imaginary name of a web designer? I haven't decided if they're going to be male, female. I haven't decided if they're going to be English. Are they going to be from the Philippines? I haven't considered a name yet. Can you give me names? And the idea is that in the super course, at various stages, I'm going to start off with someone who is fed up of their job and they want to start a web design business. Oh, Mia, they'll just give us the most popular names. They might even say Mia. But think of some names, everyone. Pop them down in the chat and I'll pick one. So the idea is they're fed up of their job or they want to start a web design business. And then I'm going to go through their journey. Not a company. Yeah, company name would be good as well, Pixstar. Go for it. Let's have the person name and the company name. Right? In fact, let's go with 3 things. 3 things. Person name, company name, and what they were doing as a career before they became a web designer. Go on, give me that. Person name, company name they decide to use, and what were they doing before they became a web designer. Angel could be a woman or a man, or a person, or a thing. Pixel Pope, Chilster guys. By the way, please do not use any business names that are associated with you, because that's not fair. So make sure it's got to be like, because I will have to check the names out before I use them as well in terms of company name. Anyway, so the idea is that at various stages, it will be about their journey, the services they pick, when something good happens, when something bad happens, bad client, how do they get out of it? How do they scale up? How do they do stuff? Because just by giving you guides, I don't think it's boring, but at the same time, I don't want it to become just like, okay, just guide. I feel like you want to break it down. Nice one, Chilster, Pixel Pope. Okay, I do like that then. But let's see what other people put up as well. Bob, Rajat goes, Bob. Bob does work quite well, doesn't it? It's very short, Bob. So I want to kind of take you on a journey as well, so that you can see that, okay, we've now covered off signature offering. I've spoken to you about what is a signature offering. How do you stand out? How are you different? Now let's put it into context. Now let's go through Bob. Let's pretend we're using Bob from Pixel Pope, okay? What does Bob do with that knowledge? What does Bob formulate is going to be his plan of action to create his signature offering? Does he make a mistake? Does he get it right? Does he like over exaggerate it and then he gets caught out by difficult clients? Because often they're the things that are most important, aren't they? We could all read a book or listen to a podcast where someone goes, yeah, you got to do X, Y, Z. Hey, you want to grow muscles, you got to do da-da-da-da-da. But then sometimes you have to take the fact that you could have someone who does lots of weight training but doesn't grow muscles. Then you got someone who hardly does any weight training and they're very defined. body, metabolism, what you eat, what you do, how you behave, your mindset, all of this can play into how well you do in weight training, right? So I feel like I don't just want to give you the course, it is also about the journey as well. So for those of you that have got the super course as well, you're probably going to get early access to it, I think, in about 11 days time. Basically, not 11 days, 12 days, in fact. It'll be in 12 days time. You're going to get access to the super course. And I'm just putting the coupon code there as well. You're going to get early access. In fact, you're going to get access to it 3.5 weeks prior to the official release. You're getting it that early, okay? And the reason we're going to do that is that A, to get some of your feedback. B, well, you've already paid, so why make you wait too long? Let's get it out there for you. And also, I'm hoping that we'll get some testimonials from you and that, well, you're able to scale up and take your business to the next step. So Pickstar, well, Deepanshu's come out with Blake Jedi. There might be some copyright issues related to that one. Pickstar, We Create, Maxwell. Maxwell? Where have you come with Maxwell, Pickstar? Previous work. Oh, sorry, do you mean Max? Well, as in the name. Okay, I got you right. Okay, yeah. Previous work, travel agency. That's quite a good idea, actually, because that gives us a bit of a story, doesn't it, over the niche area they might want to work in. Okay, at the moment, Bob does feel a little bit kind of like slapdash as well, a little bit, doesn't it? Hey, Bob, it just feels a bit comical. So I'm not sure about Bob. I do like the one We Create, though. At the minute, I have to say, though, Pickstar's kind of got a good one there. Be Informatica, Do It Weber. Do It Weber. Do It Weber. Something about the We Create, I have to say. The trouble is, though, with the We Create, though, it does have the word, it does look like, hey, Carlo, hey, Maddie. We Create does feel a little bit like urine, doesn't it? Wee! Like piss crate. We Create. Web Wonders as well, good one. Deepanshu, before the web designing, Blake was a professional skydiver. That's a good one as well, actually, because I'm trying to visualize. Because in a way, you see, if you take the travel agency one, their niche area might be creating travel agency websites. Where if you take Blake, the skydiver, his might be related to like traveling as well, but maybe more to do with skydiving. But that's a very niche area, though, at the same time. Yep, We Create is the company name. Don't worry, Pickstar. I realised in the end when I reread it. And they're quite good ideas as well. But overall, though, it's been a really, really good weekend. And, if you haven't gone and watched the video on the survey results, please do go and watch it. We only had a total of 131 entries in total, like proper entries in total. And I had to, I feel like we need more. So I'm going to leave that survey open. I'm going to always be reminding people about it every now and again. If you haven't already completed, go and do it. If you know any friends or family or anyone else involved in web design, tell them to do it. If you're part of any forums, please let people know about it. Because I hope in 2 months, every 2 months, I might review it again. Has the picture changed? Has the picture changed in terms of, like, for instance, let's say, because there were some things like Bangladesh, I only had one entry, right? But I know that, like, I think Bangladesh is like the 6th or 7th biggest audience for our YouTube videos. Our biggest audience is United States, then India, then United Kingdom, then Pakistan. Then it jumps around between Netherlands and Germany. And then I think it's Bangladesh. And then I get all the other countries start to filter in. We didn't get a single person from Australia or New Zealand complete it. Obviously, maybe, you know, they're lower down in my audience in terms of YouTube videos. But that being said, The survey is not about YouTube audiences. The survey is about getting a broad range of pricing values or ranges of prices you might charge for a basic website. But that being said, yeah. Did you like the video I put out yesterday? So I think on Friday or Thursday, I put out a video how you could get training videos on your WordPress dashboard, which loads of people like. I then took it a step further. What if on your WordPress dashboard, you know when you have the screen options where it says at a glance, site health, elemental news, WordPress news, and all of that bull? And I always like to get rid of them. What if now on a client's website you had a pane that shows there and it says your name, your web address, your email address, so that if someone has an issue or something, they can click it and it opens up an email, like a mail to email. So your contact details are always there. You could even say designed by X. You could even put on instructions. This is the beauty about the video I put out yesterday. You could put on there, before you add any images, you must put them through bulk-resizephotos.com. You must set them as a WebP and use these settings. Before you, or when you add a product, you must do these 6 steps. Right? When you do a post, you must do the excerpt and the featured image. You could literally put down instructions for them so that when they go into their WordPress dashboard, it's there for them. It's there for them, rather than going into Hunt and find it and go elsewhere. So yeah, really, really good stuff there. Maticek, we could make a prediction model from these results and build... Oh, mate, whoa, I did think about how crazy do I go with these results, and then I kept it really, really simple in terms of table that you could order by and all of that, and then obviously an interactive chart on the right hand side, which is based on what you click and pick. Now, Pickstar, hey Nyan, by the way, how are you doing? Pickstar does ask a question. Do you know the custom property name for the global colors? I do use the global colors. I do, Pickstar, and I am sure I've got it in a video somewhere. I have to dig it out, Pickstar. I've got it in a video somewhere because I am sure... Hold on, Pickstar. Can I help? Just wait a minute, Pickstar. Just wait a minute. I know which video it is. Just wait a moment. Just wait a moment, my friend. Just wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a moment. I am sure I've got it in a video. And when I say in a video, I mean that I did a video and I'm sure I mentioned it and then someone confirmed something. I gotta find the... Oh, come on, open... Right, just wait for me, Pickstar. Hey, John, how are you doing? Yes, here you go. Here you go, here you go, here you go. Right, so Pickstar, right? I think it's this here. So it's global color... Wait, it's... Let me make sure I get this right, mate. Let me make sure I get this right. So you got global color accent. I think it's like something like that. And then you have another one. Here you go, Pickstar. Got it. Ignore the curly bracket at the end there because I accidentally copied it over from one of my other videos that I did a while ago. But there you go, Pickstar. There you go. So it's hyphen. It's really important. It's hyphen global color accent. Then it's hyphen global color primary. Then it's hyphen global color secondary. I try that, my old man, Pickstar. Hope that works for you. By the way, hey John, hope you're okay. Hope you liked the video, by the way. Hey Jason, how are you doing? Nice one, Nyan. 2 months after starting with WordPress, he's now playing around with CSS. Excellent news. Droip. No, not really looked at that one, Dipanshu. What's your thoughts about Droip? How are you doing, Claudius? Omar says, I did everything to activate SVG uploads, all plugins, but WordPress won't allow me to upload SVG. Okay, so Omar, who is your host provider, number one? Who is your host provider, number one? And what version of WordPress are you running? What version of WordPress? Carlo, using Elementor Pro and Pod, is it possible to create a post group with multiple title text which repeat in a variable number according to the content? Yeah, if you got a repeater field. Oh, hold on, in a variable number. I'm not sure, Carlo, about that. Nice. Yeah, of course, Pixar. I'm sure I'll hear from you soon in the cave. Claudius, have I used more than one loop carousel on a page? Yes, you can do that. You should be able to do that. What's the problem, Claudius? I mean, in fact, I've done it with various loop grids. I've done it with 3 different loop grids, but the loop carousel should work fine. What is the problem you're getting, though, with the carousel? So if you're getting a problem, what is the problem you're getting? And what we can do is we could literally do it online as well. So I'm going to open up one of my test websites and let's just go for the loop carousel. Hey, why not? Let's do the loop carousel and just see, does it work? When you say stopped working, what do you mean by stopped working? So yeah, so Omar, the only thing I can say to you right is I don't know if that is because of your host. It could be due to your host. Yeah, please don't forget to hit like. We've only got 15 likes at the moment. Guys, I've got to tell you something, and this is groundbreaking news I'm about to tell you, okay? This is like groundbreaking news. I'm really desperate for a wee break. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'm back. Hey. Ugh, sorry about that. Right, so let me just check the questions before I jump in. I did say pee break, wee break, pee break, urine, piss take, whatever you want to call it. Right. I'm going to jump into sorry, just get myself on camera. I'm just going to jump into one of our pages and I'm going to go to, let's just do a new page, all right? So I know what I'm doing here and we'll call it Cloud, as in Claudius. Right, okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to stick 2 loop carousels in here and we'll see what we get with that. Okay, so I'm going to go in, let's just go for carousel. Where is it? There we go. So we're going to create a loop carousel, create template. We're going to keep it really, really simple here, okay? There's nothing fancy going on here. I'm just going to stick in a featured image. In fact, Let me just make the height of this be, I don't know, like that. We'll go for a cover, something like that. I don't really care. Save them back. We're just going to create 2 carousels, okay? Really, 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 really simple. So this is going to be based on posts. In fact, I've just realized I don't even know if I've got any posts. So I can't really look. This is a like dummy website. Yeah, I don't think I've got any images. Damn it. Wait. Let me just edit. Right, so let me just get some images in. Look, this hasn't even got a featured image. That was a really stupid. Let's go for that image. Update that. Let's just do a featured image over here as well. Set that to be that. Update. And let's just do a featured image over here. Let's just go with that. Set the featured image. Blah, 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 blah. Update. Update. Right. Boom, boom, boom. Right. Back to the page over here. Refresh the page. Hey, everyone. Right. Okay. So we've got a loop carousel. Okay. Let's just try and set the post. Categories are WordPress, and we have a category for Squadron. I'm going to duplicate this. Duplicate like that. Quick edit, set that to be published. Do the same over there to do published like that. So we've got Squadron, and we'll do, let me just duplicate. Sorry, I'm just quickly doing this. Hey, Dave, how you doing? So Claudius had a question about the loop carousel not working for her in some way. So I'm very quickly going to do something. Let me just check the questions, though. No, I didn't watch the breakdance. To be honest, though, I'm not really getting into breakdance. If I'm really, really honest, I'm just, for PR reasons, I'm trying not to get too involved into that one. Anyway, so let's just go back over here. Okay, so we have one loop carousel, okay? So we have a loop carousel. This carousel, the query, we're going to go for Squadron. There we go. So we go through the Squadron loop carousel. This carousel as well is going to be on autoplay, and it's going to be 1 second, right? So this is going to keep moving, right? Keep moving. I'm then going to duplicate this section, right? And we're going to set this one to kind of direction is going to be in the right. The query will be, was it WordPress? What was the other one? Yeah, WordPress. There you go. Right. And if we now take this page and we go with an incognito private window, right? And we go for cloud. It's working. So it is working. It is working. So I'm not sure, Claudius. I mean, I've seen a comment up there about caching, maybe. I'm not sure, really. I'm not sure. Hey, Paul, how are you? I'm doing all right, dirty dog. I'm doing all right. But what's your thoughts, Claudius? Because it is working. It is working. And this is on an incognito page. So all I can think of is regenerate your CSS, purge your site, purge your server. Because at the moment, I've just done this on the real dirt, fly, quick, you know, whoops, daisy. Let me get this right. There you go, boom. I've just done it on the fly, really, really quick and easy. And it's working for me at the moment. Anyway, not a lot I can say about that then, really, is there? It's kind of working. Hey, Shabeen, sorry I didn't see your name there. Hey, Carl, by the way, as well. Sorry I didn't see that. So Carl says he's seen something. You want to know how to do it. What are we talking about here then, Carl? So Claudius, please go and regenerate your CSS. Purge your site. Purge your server. That's all I can say. I mean, unless there's something else on the page, any other code snippet or some other optimization plugin maybe. But if it's I mean, it does work. It does work, you know. Ah, right. Okay, so Claudius is now saying that actually she had product. Okay, so let's go back over here then. So let's now go to this one here. Let me pick products. I don't know if I got any products. I don't think I've got any products on this site. These are all test websites, right? Oh, no, I have got products. There you go. Yeah, all right. Yeah, cool. Right, so let me just get rid of that. Right. So now, so this top one is post. This bottom one is products. No. Look at this second one. Look, the second one is products. The second one is products. And it's working. Look, products. Look, there's a product. The super course. Oh, the super course. The bottom one is now products, and the top one is post. So again, it is working. It is working because I put the loop carousel through its paces when it first came out. Hey, Artif, how you doing? So I put the carousel through its paces, and I found so the top one is post, the bottom one is product, post product, yeah, and you know, you can do what you want with it, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, this is out of sync a little bit because I've just slightly, like, you know, I've just because I went and touched it. But anyway, look, you get the idea, okay? John, the survey results are out. We got a video on it, John. If you have not seen the video about the survey results, you got to go and watch the video. Mohammed, please make video on marketing. Well, I have done already, Mohammed. I've done videos on Atarim. And to be honest now, I go into more detail about that kind of stuff on the super course. So in terms of video, I've done stuff already. But if you really want to get the lowdown on stuff like this, you really should sign up for the... and I'll get you the link as well for it. You need to go and join the super course, which will be open for people to start accessing the content in 11 days' time. Yeah, Claudius, go and regenerate your CSS and just double check, is there anything else? Right, just see what you got out there. So Matichek's asked a question. Please don't forget to hit like if you've not done, hit like. Matichek says purge server. What do you do there? So on SiteGround, I go and purge the dynamic and the memcache. You can do it with other, normally you can do it with other host providers as well, like when they do flush to cache and stuff like that. OP cache, you know, if you don't do it, you could regenerate your CSS, you could purge your site, but your server still has like a memory of what your website looks like. So it's always good to have the facility to purge your cache. So whenever anyone says to me, hey, I found a really good host provider, my questions to them are, does it give you backups? Can you access the file manager or the cPanel? Can you purge the server cache, right? Do you get any email provision? Can you do staging sites? You know, they're my 5 big questions I have for them. Backups. Oh, I forgot the order now. Backups, emails, purge the cache, staging sites. What was the 5th one? I can't remember now. I'm sure there was 5. There you go. My memory's gone blank now. Carl, they've seen a website where the site brought up custom data. Okay, right, okay, yeah. So, Carl, this could be based on your IP address. It could be based on your login. It could be based on something about you. What it is then doing is doing like a SQL return back to the database to return the relevant information. It's not always easy to do that. Michael, my takeaway from the survey, the US has inflated pricing. Yeah, you could argue that. But then again, though, the capita rate for the United States is about $65,000 per year. the capita rate for what you would call is a standard middle income, right? Whereas in the UK, a middle income would be 45,000, whereas in India, the middle income is like 1,500 or something like that. But I thought the benchmark aspect of the survey results was quite enlightening and interesting. And if you haven't gone and watched that video, please do go and watch it, because I do think it's pretty interesting on what it does. And the survey is actually reopened again. I will be looking at the results every 2 months and just seeing what they look like. And the results will always be available on the results page, so I'll update it at regular stages. But if you know anyone who didn't complete, or you're part of any forums with web designers, they don't have to be Elementor or WordPress, just web designers, okay, even Shopify, anything like that, please do get them to complete it. Because we had no one in there from Australia at all. Australia is probably my 11th, 10th biggest audience, but there was no one from Australia, which, you know, it's a bit like, okay, maybe they didn't have time, maybe they overlooked it, but we do want to get more people in there. Hey, Inderpreet, how are you doing? How are you doing? So, Claudius, I look forward to hearing back from you, and I hope you do eventually get both of your carousels working okay. Kevin, I've been using Rochen for hosting for about 10 years, and I believe they check all those. There you go. There's 5 things I always check. Why can't I remember them? Backup, staging, email provision. Backup, staging, email provision. Oh yeah, purge the server. SSL, that was the other one. That's actually number 6, SSL as well. You know, you got to make sure your host provider, file manager, that was it. Right, backup, staging, purge the server, email, SSL, and access to the file manager or cPanel. If your host provider, and I'm looking at you, Elementor Cloud, if your host provider, to be honest, Paul, that's the problem, isn't it? The timing of the live stream's never great. But if your host provider does not give you access to file manager or cPanel, does not give you like an email provision or something along those lines, does not give you SSL, does not allow you to purge the server, right? Does not give you like backup facility on top of whatever. I mean, you're not just going to rely on them, but it's good to have them as well. Does not also give you a staging site facility. This is where I start to say, is it worth it? Because then you're going to start using other third-party solutions and plugins to do what I think, in my opinion, should be a must in terms of provider provision. To make your life easier, you know. SiteGround do all of that stuff, okay? I'm quite happy with what we get. We don't just rely on their backup, though. We do have additional ways of doing it as well. Sometimes we have all-in-one, sometimes we have updraft and stuff like that. But at least we know that if, you know, let's say there's a whole shitstorm, right? There's a whole shitstorm, right? Your entire website goes boom, like that, okay? When that happens, your updraft is only going to be as good as your updraft, which you might not even be able to access properly. At least with the SiteGround, we can go in and there's backups there. Oh, we're talking about Australia, Dave, then. So I was saying how I didn't get any results from Australia. And what we really want to get is... sorry, I'm yawning there. I feel a bit... It was a bit of a long weekend, to be honest. And I was up till quite late last night. We're looking up stuff for some video ideas and things. But we didn't get any results from Australia, and I would love to get more of that. I think we're going to get Elementor version 3.12 in about 10 days. I think we're going to get it in 10 days' time. Because on I think it is the 1st or 2nd of April, there is an Elementor roadmap meeting again. So we had the very first Elemental Roadmap webinar in beginning of January. We've now got the second roadmap one at the beginning of April, which time has flown by. We're literally now almost 1 quarter in of the year, right, to the second quarter, April. And we're going to get an update on the roadmap. And I hope we get a big, big update on the post filter. Because if they get that post filter right, it will be groundbreaking for Elemental's post and product facility. And if it works with carousels and loop grid, which obviously it will, and you can use it for products, and you can use it for custom fields, that post filter will be groundbreaking. And I hope we get some more insight into when we're going to get that. Michael says they've been a hosting reseller for years with WebHost Python. All the boxes checked, and they have great customer service. Exactly, but Michael, don't worry about mentioning names. We mention names all the time. And that's what makes life easy, doesn't it, Michael? For you and your client, right? Hey, Paul, how are you doing? I mean, I'm going to put a bet. It's an imaginary bet, by the way, so don't anyone say I owe them money. I think by the end of March, we'll get Elemental version 3.12 released fully. We then get the roadmap webinar. I think it's on the 2nd of April, or the 2nd of April, I think. And then what we're going to get is an update of the roadmap. It'll be really, really disappointing if the post filter is a bit like, meh. Do you get what I mean? Hey, Network Idol. Don't know who you are, but hey, it'll be really disappointing if the post filter literally is, it's not even anything crazy. Because if you're going to compete against JetSmart Filter, Filter Everything, Themify Product Filter, Grid Builder, WP Grid Builder, is really good for the loop grid in terms of filtering. If you really want to compete with them, I really hope they do something really well thought out. MD Jadan, why don't you make a page where we can give you video ideas? To be honest, MD Jadan, this is why we have the live chat. This is why you can reach out to me on email. So if you have ideas for videos, just dump them there. Email me. The email is somewhere there. There it is, down there. info@websquadron.co.uk. And if you haven't watched our video, right, on the results for website prices broken down by how you got those clients, with some benchmarking against the country capita rate as well, please go and watch that video, okay? If you want to share it in any forums or any groups, go ahead and share it, okay? It's not about getting people to watch the video. I think it's enlightening. It's very, very enlightening about prices that different countries are charging, but how your prices differ depending on how you got the clients. And also, what does it mean when you benchmark it against the capita rate? And I really think it's eye-opening what I tell you in that video about when you start to compare United States, United Kingdom, India. When you compare it, because normally we sort of go, oh, the prices that they charge in India are low. But when you benchmark it, it shows a completely different picture. So make sure you go and watch it. WHP has a lot of different pricing packages. Oh, yeah. But that's the thing I say. So whenever someone comes to me and says, hey, I want to change provider. What's the best host for me to use? A lot of people hone in on the cost. Oh, this is only £1 a month. This is only $5 a month. This is based in the UK or whatever. In some way, that is important. But you could almost say the price of what you pay should reflect what you get. So like I said, what's important? File manager or cPanel, staging site, backup, email provision if possible. Oh, my mind keeps going blank whenever I go through these. What's the other two? SSL, Oh, my mind. Do you know what? I've got to write this down. My mind keeps going blank. Network. I must say that Imran and Paul are both very handsome. That's the main reason I watch their videos, not because of their shit. Well, you know, I mean, what can I say, Network Idol? It kind of comes with the territory, really. You know, if we weren't handsome, you'd probably still see me, but I'd maybe be like sat with a hoodie on and sunglasses and probably have something covering my mouth like a face mask as well. Exactly, Cole. I mean, that whenever anyone posts a question, a lot of people sometimes go in with, yeah, here's who you want to go for. It's really, really cheap or whatever. And often I feel a bit like you're missing the bigger picture over what you really want to be getting out of your host provider for yourself, for your clients, or if you're reselling. You know, the technical expertise. Because there are some people out there where I can't remember the company name, okay, but they were based in the UK and they used to sell it on. That was fine. There was nothing to hide. But what they did was they resold on something which they then found out was being resold on by someone else. So you had a host provider and then you had someone here who was reselling. That person then was reselling to others. They literally made themselves out to be a big, well-known company, right, with testimonials and galore. And they were reselling on as well. And then you had the client. So when the client had a problem, they went to their web designer or whoever was selling on. The web designer wasn't sure what to do, so they went back to the next person. This person did nothing. All they did was then pass it back to the actual provider. So you had a chain of 1, 2, 3, well, 4 if you include the client, who at this minute is stressing out. Literally, it was reselling of a reseller. How crazy is that as a situation? Resellers is fine, but they were reselling on top of a reseller. It was like, what? James, EuroVPS offer dedicated servers and they also include full management. So if you ask them what you need, they'll ask, yep, that's all good. I think Elementor should do something radical. In a way, Artif, I think they already are with the interface. But what are your thoughts, Artif? Because obviously you're thinking of something, right? What are you thinking they should do when you think radical? In fact, why don't you put it in the comments? Why don't you put it in the comments? What do you think Elementor should do that is radical? Make it realistic, though. Don't go and say, oh, they should make it like bricks. Be realistic, okay, with what could they do. For me, the radical thing would be, well, number one, don't do the purple big button because it's a bit, right? But I would say go for the post filter and make it so sexy good, right, that we don't ever now think about using JetSmart filter. Well, obviously you would do, but for pure Elementor websites with custom fields, we are no longer going, oh, I've got to go to Themify, I've got to go to filter everything. I've got to go to Revelanasi, whatever it was called, JetSmart filter, WP Grid Builder. I can do it all now here. If I want something different, I have other options. But if I really just want to do it here, I can do it here now. And that's really what you want to go do. I mean, reselling is absolutely fine. It's just the danger of reselling on top of another reseller. Because the trouble with the first reseller had no technical knowledge. I can't remember the names of what they were using, but that reseller basically had no time or effort, and all they did was just pass the query back. And then it wasn't until they got a reply would they feed back. So literally, you were waiting on someone to let you know the progress. The client at this point is like, but they don't know that, right? Because the first reseller isn't going to tell them. The second reseller, well, they don't care. They just pass you back, you know. And it's like, it's a very convoluted way of doing things. It's bad enough when you sell a house or you buy a house and there's a chain. Oh man, I'll tell you now, if anyone was to say to me, what is the most stressful thing in your life? It's not getting married. It's not getting kids. It's not, I had a brain tumor removed in 1999. It's not that. It wasn't even having a heart attack and worrying about my life. This is God honest truth, I'm telling you now. It's not even running out of Pepsi Max. Let me tell you now, it's not even when your broadband goes down or you think you've lost your phone. No, I'm going to tell you now. Hey, Andrew, how you doing? Hope you liked the video, by the way, Andrew. If anyone's not watched it, please go and watch that video. Please share it in your blogs and your forums and wherever you live and hang out. The most stressful thing I can tell you now, and I've experienced it 3 times, okay? So the first house, then we sold and moved, then we sold and moved again. So this is our 3rd house, right? Buying and selling houses. When you get to that point when you're literally waiting for money because there's a chain, have they paid? Have they paid? Have they paid? And everything's got to happen before a certain point of time, like 3 p.m. I think it is. Otherwise, you don't get the keys. And you got the moving in men there and they need to drive. And you got the person who's bought your house has turned up, but your money transaction hasn't gone through. So you can't get the keys to where you need to go. And then you got someone else who's like, it becomes absolutely horrendous. Who here agrees with me on that? Right? I'm telling you now, the most stressful thing, that is what it is. Oh man, John, I don't even want to go with property in EU, man. Different legal issues. Oh man, yep. Thank you, by the way, Andrew. I saw that you signed up and I wanted to say thanks to you for that. MD Jadan. To be honest though, MD Jadan, have you seen the video I put out on, have you seen the video that I put out on yesterday about how you can personalize the screen options bit of WordPress dashboard? If you've not seen it, I really do think you should go and see it, because there's loads of tips and tricks and things you could do to really, 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 really help your clients out. In fact, I'm going to make a note of that for a future video. I need to do something. I'm just going to make a note of that and say screen options expand. I'm not really expanding. It's just something I've got to do. Mass Stigma. Is there a video that explains how IOPS, IO usage number? No. Maybe not from me, Mass Stigma. Ain't coming from me. That kind of level. Michael is the first point of contact for customer service. Yeah, exactly. And that's really how it should be anyway, Michael, right? You should have a good understanding, not just because you need to be able to relay it back to the client, but also what is the question you're asking, but also to detect bullshit, right? I've told you all this story before, okay? I've told you this story before. So we're in a meeting. There's loads of stuff not working right with the data warehouse for the NHS data sets. I've got the data warehouse people now with me and their leader. And I'm asking them questions about the server and the return of dimensions and fact tables and measures not working right or not being updated correctly. And the lead, the head of their department, said to everyone in the meeting, right, well, you know, it's going to take 10 parsecs. This is what they said. It's going to take 10 parsecs. I straight away said to them, don't you mean 12 parsecs? Especially if you implement the Kessel run. Now, at this point, everyone else in the meeting is looking and going, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And the head of the data warehouse team just looked at me. Because I think he then realized, I know when you're bullshitting, right? He literally said in a meeting about server speed and everything and about the way that the tables weren't being updated. Oh, yeah, it's going to take, it's going to take something like 10 parsecs to sort it out. 10 parsecs. Now, if you understand what I'm talking about, you know where I'm going. When I went, don't you mean 12 if you implement the Kessel run? And you can literally see his eyes sort of go, oh, I've been caught. And I was head of business intelligence as well. So I was literally like, I see you, right? I see you. Don't you dare try and pull the wool over my eyes. Shaveen, is there any fix for image elements not have explicit width and height? The trouble is though, Shaveen, right, okay, the explicit width and height, okay, here's my question to you, Shaveen, okay, what is it when you say image element? Is it an image? Is it a carousel image? Is it a slider image? Is it an SVG? So what is it? What is it? What is it, Shaveen? So when you say image element does not have explicit width and height, is it a standard image? Is it a slider image? Is it a carousel image? Is it an SVG? Because the answer matters based on that. So what is the answer there? Sorry, just checking some of the questions coming out. Okay. It's the logo. Okay, Shaveen, yeah, I know, but Shaveen, you got to give me more here. Is the logo an image, as in a PNG, a WebP, an SVG, a chat GPT? What is it? What is the logo? Shaveen, come on, mate. You can't just say it's a logo, okay? You can't just say it's the logo. That means nothing, right? That means nothing. So Matichek has already gone down the route I was going to tell you. So that's what you could do. You could do object fit cover. You could even do contain. Contain might work for you as well. Cover sometimes not so great, but contain definitely will. But is it an SVG? Because if it's an SVG, sorry, Andrew, go and take care. Enjoy your forest school afternoon today and tomorrow. Catch up with you soon. And by the way, Andrew, you should be able to access the course from the 1st of April, which sounds really weird because it's April Fool's Day, but you will be able to access it from the 1st of April, okay? Because we'll be opening it out early to anyone that's already purchased it, so you get it early. Basically, we're on the home run at the moment with completing stuff off. So I'm really happy at the moment. I'm really hyped up. Yeah, contain. Yeah, try contain. Try contain and see what you get. The trouble is, though, a lot of it is going to depend on have you set the size of the image on the screen as well? Right? Is the size reasonable in your media library? So I know that code snippet works for me, but that's because I have a way of doing things. So I would say just, the other thing though, Shaveen, right? I know I go on and 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 on about page speed performance. I know I do. But you don't have to get everything. Right? If you bake a cake, the sponge might not be perfect. The cream might not be perfect. The strawberry might not be perfect. One side might look a little bit wonky. One side might have a tiny little dent in it. But it is still a sponge cake. Right? Can I eat it? Is it edible? Does it taste okay? Right? Page speed performance. If your logo is the only major thing, right, that is fouling the explicit height and all of that, is it so catastrophic that you can't just move on? I really want to get this across, okay? You might not hit 85%, but the website works, it flows well, and you've done the bulk of what you needed to do. All right? Ignoring WebP images is blasphemous. Ignoring custom loading font, you need a slap. Inner sections everywhere. Come here and I'll give you an inner section where the sun don't shine. Okay? There are some things you can do, but sometimes there are some things where you have to just say, let it go. Server speed, let it go. Unless it's consistently poor, then move to a different provider. Explicit issues like that with the width and height, if it's only one or two that are pulling it down, let it go. You got to let it go. You got to assess it, you know. You know what people say, you know, herbal therapy. What's the word? What's the word they call? Oh, there's a word they love to use and I hate the word. What's the word they use? People with yoga and meditation, they use a word. This is now going to trouble me because I can't remember now. You know, for like therapy, where you have medical therapy. I can't remember what the word is. Anyway, look at it in the whole. And if you have a few things here or there that you know you did your best to sort them out, you've used some methodology that people have said works for them or whatever, let it go, right? Just let it go. That's life. That's life, okay? No, not new age. It's not new age. It's a different type of not homeopathic. What do they call it? Oh, I can't remember what the word is now. It's going to bother me a lot. This is going to bother me all bloody afternoon. Harish, I'm glad the page speed video worked really, really well for you. A good security plugin and WordFence is absolutely fine. All-in-one security is absolutely fine. You want to make sure your host provider also provides it. Holistic! That's the word. That's the word. Michael's got it. Holistic. I friggin' hate that word. You know when people come out with that bloody word, when they kind of go, so when we were doing analytics, right, business intelligence and all of that, you have people that sit in a meeting going, if we take the data and we take the view of the doctors and nurses and we have a holistic approach, cut the drivel, right? Cut the drivel. Get to the point. Give me fact. Don't give me the holistic approach. The happy approach. I don't care, right? Don't care. The happy-go-lucky approach. No, don't really care. Yeah, so WordFence, all-in-one security, firewall plugin, that's free. You want to check that your host provider also, what do they do for security as well? You know, they might brute force all of that. 2FA, you know, there's loads of stuff you can do. Michael, coming from classic web dev, struggling with WordPress and plugins, although you are limiting. Yeah, I mean, Michael, look, this is the thing about why I like to really reduce the amount of plugins I use. Just because you never know what's going to happen. And if you're really reliant on a plugin for something and then that plugin kind of goes out of business or stops updating, because you can't force them. That's the trouble, isn't it? You can't really say, well, I was using your plugin, but you've not updated in 2 years. They're probably never going to reply to you. So I always like to try and make sure I'm using good plugins where I know there's some longevity in them. Because I always do worry about, well, what happens if they go bust? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be honest, though, James, you are right. You can get... The trouble is, though, depending on your layout, your score can go up and down a bit. But the video, that page speed video, does do wonders. Yeah, I mean, Shaveen, you're saying your score is in the 80s, okay? What is causing your score to be in the 80s? Have you got Google Tag Manager? If so, move it to the footer. If you're not so overly worried about the analytics and all of that side of what you get with Google Tag Manager. Have you got Facebook Pixel? Have you got Cookie? Because maybe they're bringing your score down. So what is the reason why your score's coming down, Shaveen? What is it? What does your page speed insights say about your 80 score? William, how are you doing? What do you do for interlinking your website regarding well, you just do links, don't you? You have internal links. You have external links, you have internal links. That's what you do. You just do links. Andrew, got a reply from the musician neighbour. Oh, yes. Andrew, seriously, they've only got £200 to spend. You just have to kind of go, look, just say, look, you want to say to them, look, I wish I could help you out. My advice to you is to go and look on Fiverr, but make sure you stay in control over what you do so that you don't pay for something that you don't get what you didn't pay for. So just say to them, hey, look, I really, I'm sorry about that. I wish I could work with you. Here's my advice. Go to Fiverr, right? Or Bark, but make sure you stay in control over what you request and what you want so you get what you wanted to pay for. Or some work. Get ChatGPT to write it for you. In fact, get ChatGPT to write the script, print it out, and when you speak to them face to face, read it off, okay? But don't let them know you use ChatGPT. So don't say written by ChatGPT. Don't do that. Yeah, absolutely, James. No, I agree with you. The more plugins you have, the more problems you will have. That's just the way it is. So I always like to say reduce as much as you can. Keep it lean and keep it mean. William, do you have a specific structure to maximize SEO? Yeah, I do, William. I have a way I do it. So you got to think about your keywords, getting them into your header 1 and all of that. You got to think about your placement on your page. You got to think about making it sound natural. But there's loads of videos and stuff out there on this and blogs and stuff. You got to look at your images. Yeah, right. You got to think about your questions. So let's say your keyword is window cleaning. Let's say your website's window cleaning. One of your keywords will probably be window cleaning. But if you go onto Google, what are people searching for? Don't forget to hit the like button. What are people searching for? How to find a window cleaner. How to start a window cleaning business, how to trust a window cleaner, right? And then what you need to do is try and get those to be your header 2 or header 3 text on one of your pages, maybe your home pages. How do I find a window cleaner? So what you want to do is kind of frame that. So you might say a question like, lots of people wonder, how do I find a window cleaner? So you've got that inside the question. The question is inside your header. You got to think like that, Matt William. Money check, $200. I mean, I'll tell you now, $200 won't even get you a WordPress installation from me. Well, it won't get you... Well, no, yeah, okay. It will get you a WordPress installation. It will also get you WordPress settings, but you won't get any SEO from me for that. I might, if you're lucky, install your plugins as well for that cost and do your plugin settings, and that's it. And then you're on your own. WordPress installation, which is probably server-side and probably done for you, really. Your WordPress settings, your plugin installation activation, your plugin settings if there's any funky stuff you need to do, or make sure your API is okay, whatever, and that's all you get. You won't get anything else. You won't get SEO for me for €200 or no. Hey, Maddie. Thank you for hitting that many times. Tech with Ayush cannot get traffic. So, okay, Tech with Ayush, how are you trying to get traffic? Are you stood in the middle of the road? Are you holding out your thumb? Have you bought a ticket? How are you trying to get traffic? You need to tell me how you're trying to get traffic, right? So tell me what you're doing. It's like someone saying, I'm hungry, but they haven't even bothered going to the fridge. Oh, I'm hungry, because they're sat on the sofa. Well, get off your ass and get to the fridge. So what are you doing? Yeah, exactly, Andrew. Just, be nice about it, but hopefully things don't work out and they come running back. But if they've only got 200, well, they're only going to get so far, are they, in life with a £200 website? James, £920 will get you a one-page website. And the one-page website won't have a lot on it either. The one-page website, right, will be your logo, your menu, hero banner. You might have 2 or 3 extra sections, contact form, footer. That's it. 1 day's work is all you're going to get from me. All you're going to get. No, Artif, I've not seen it. I've not seen it. I know you got excited about it. I'm trying not to get too drawn into breakdance, if I'm honest. I think I've got enough on my plate with bricks at the moment. Yes, so where were we? Yes, so James, £920 is a one-page basic, super basic one-page website. No WooCommerce, no appointment, right? You get a contact form and then you get your logo, you get your hero banner. You might get a bit of an about or whatever about what you offer. Really, really simple. But that's where we start. If your one-page website is going to have more stuff on it, then your cost would obviously go up. If you want it with SEO, your cost goes up. Hey, Matt, how you doing? So the 920, what that does, Jamie, is draw a line in the sand. Do you get what I mean? It's a line in the sand. So what I'm basically saying to the world is, if you come to me and you want a website for less than 920, it ain't happening. What I'm basically saying is, here's the line in the sand, right? If you come to me and say, hey, I want a website for £500, I'll be like, not happening. So that's what it does. Tarek says, good fan of your videos, currently working on Fiverr. Hey, you're doing really well. But you're not getting clients outside of this marketplace. That's because you're only using Fiverr, and you're getting institutionalized into the Fiverr market. What you need to do is build up your portfolio and start advertising and letting other people know that you do websites. Don't tell them you are a Fiverr top-rated seller. No one cares that you are a Fiverr top-rated seller. I'm telling you now, no one cares. In fact, by telling them you're a Fiverr top-rated seller, you have crunched down your value. Seriously, you have compressed your value. So don't go around telling anyone that. So Jamie says, yeah, what is the price for a 10-page bespoke business website? It depends on the content. It depends on the content. So the price could be, in fact, I'll tell you what the price could come to. Technically, the price could come to £4,000 for a 10-page website. You could be going up to 4,000 because you have the home page, which might come in at the 920, and then £360 per extra page. Don't care how much the content is, it's going to be extra $360 per page. That is going to take you over £4,000 in total, right? But it depends on the content, it depends on how much extra and stuff you're doing with it. Nice one, Matt. Full-time job, what, with an agency or doing something else? So Tech with Ayesh, I cannot get traffic on news, web cricket news. Well, where are you advertising? Are you part of a cricket forum? Are you part of a cricket Facebook group? Are you connected with cricket people who like cricket on LinkedIn? Are you doing tweets every day, a tweet? Are you doing Insta posts about cricket? What are you doing to get yourself out there? Are you part of any Facebook groups to do with cricket? Are you commenting? Are you conversing with people? Just having a website does not do anything. Yeah, Claudius, I do need to get that video done. I'm going to try and get it done this week to do with grid builder filters for WooCommerce products. I've got to be honest, I've not done it yet. I do need to do it, so bear with me on that one. Timothy Bryan, how are you doing? Enjoying my teaching style. You're a window cleaner from Bristol. I was just talking about window cleaning, actually, websites. Hey, please don't forget, though, if anyone is just starting off, and this goes out to Tarek, okay, in fact, let me just pop his name in, which I know you probably won't get this, Tarek, but, you know, we have got our super course of how to start a web design business. You really should look into it. Harish, have you considered making a video about speeding up an already built website? Well, yeah, the page speed video is literally that. Some people had scores of like 25%. Now they're hitting 95% after they implemented a lot of what we say. Obviously, your host provider could play a big part of that as well. So if your host provider's not on fire and, you know, stuff like that, and their server speed isn't great, you can do everything you want, but you might need to change provider. Exactly what John says there. If you're not engaging with people and groups and forums, no wonder no one is going to get out there with you. Okay, Tech, so you say you do everything, right? Okay. What is the name of your Cricut website? So tell me, no, in fact, how many times a day do you tweet? How many Facebook groups are you part of, right? How many times a day do you tweet? How many Facebook groups for Cricut are you part of? How many conversations do you participate on the Cricut Facebook group? And what is the name of your website? So does that make sense, Ayush? So tell me, how many times a day do you tweet? How many Facebook Cricut groups are you part of? How often are you participating in those groups on a daily basis? So conversing, replying, commenting, posting. And what is the name of your website? What is the name of your website? Really, Claudius? Claudius, can you do something for me? Can you email me? The email is below, Claudius. I'm not going to do it right now. I'll do it later, okay? Can you email me with the page URL for where the carousel is? Can you email me with the page carousel? Can you email me with a link to your page carousel? Just so I can have a quick look. Just email me with a URL to that page. Nice one, Matt. You're doing really well. If we think to where you were, Matt, where were we? Almost a year ago, I think, right? Full-time job, junior elemental developer. You've put yourself out there. You've picked up work. You're doing stuff. And now you've got a full-time job, you know? And hopefully this goes on to help you now with your reputation and your career and everything like that. Do you know what, Charlie? I was going to say Phuket for you, and I thought, oh, fuck it, however you want to say it, but I decided not to. Carl. John. Don't forget it's the knowledge of how to use Elemental and software. Sorry. Back to Claudius. Yeah. So email me a link, Claudius, and I will have a look. So Ayush, I'm waiting for your answers. Ayush. How often do you tweet? How many Facebook? Because you told me you're doing this. So how many Cricut groups are you part of? How many times are you conversing in those groups? And what is the name of your Cricut website? Right? What is the name of your Cricut website? Yep. Because you got to do that. If you don't tell me, I can't help you out. Don't worry, Matt. Look, at the end of the day, yeah, sometimes what you need is someone just to bounce ideas off, to steer you, to guide you, to kind of call out, watch out for this, watch out for that. Don't get caught out. Don't get taken for a ride. Because we all need someone to advise us, but we don't always have it. And we feel lonely. And you can't talk to your family or your friends because they don't understand a website. So if anything that me or anyone here has said has helped you out, then we are really, really proud and happy for you. And I really, really, really hope it works for you. Michael asks a really great question. To Tarek, what is your Fiverr name? What is your Fiverr name? Timothy, any tips on picking up a first client? Look, Fiverr and Upwork and Bark, you're up against the world. What you want to do, Timothy, is, do you have any friends or family, or anyone like that? Maybe if you said to your friends and family, look, if you refer anyone to me and a website is built, I will pay you £50. I will pay you £100 for every successful project that is completed. I feel like Ayush has disappeared, right? So tech with Ayush, okay, you've let me down, okay, you let me down. You started a question and you let me down. By the way, everyone, we've been live for 1 hour, 20 minutes. I've got to crack on with other stuff. I've got 3 important emails that have dropped into my box that I need to have a look at. 2-minute warning, everyone, and then I'm going to jump off and fly away. Harish, I was wondering if you have any thoughts on Hostinger. I tend to hear reasonable feedback that Hostinger is pretty good. I wouldn't use them, but I have heard people say they're quite happy with Hostinger. Please hit like. We've only got 32 likes if you've not hit like already. And please don't forget to go watch our video that we released today about the website client prices survey. Atif, did you watch the video? Harish, did you watch the video? Matt, did you watch the video? Timothy, have you watched the video? Website prices, it might help you to think differently about your prices and stuff like that. Please go watch the video. Ankit, how to use control security policy. I don't know. What does ChatGPT say to you? Thank you, Matt. What does ChatGPT say, Ankit, if you were to ask ChatGPT? Hey, take care, Carlo. Just checking some of the comments coming in. Okay, everyone, we're down to the final 30 seconds. Make sure you watch the video, Matt. Okay, just make sure you watch it. I think it's quite interesting about UK and United States prices and how we like to think people think, yeah, they're getting more than what someone gets in what someone from, say, India charges. Watch it. Because when you see what it means in terms of benchmarking, suddenly your opinion changes. Yeah, Upwork is better than Fiverr, but you are competing. Right, everyone? I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow, later time than normal. Hope to catch you all up. Matt, I'd love to know if anyone else in your agency has heard of me, or if they're watching our videos, or if they think I'm a bag of shite. I'd love to know. And even if they think I'm a bag of shite, you don't have to tell me who they are, but I'd love to know feedback. What do people think about me in the Elementor, if they're using Elementor in web design world? Do they think I talk rubbish? Do they hate me? I'd love to know more about that. All right, take care, Matt, Shaveen, Harish, Timothy, you're saying, where's the video? It's in the video channel. Go to YouTube, our video channel, and you will see it there. It's there. It's called the Website Client Prices Survey Results 2023 video. All right, everyone, take care. Catch you all tomorrow. Stay safe. Bye.